Hello, hello, beautiful ones. Thank you for joining me again this month to tune and attune your vibrational self to the cosmic energies that are unfolding. But before we dive into the sonic alchemy messages that are here for you and for the attunement that's waiting, I can already feel it starting. I just would love to invite you to this month's special sonic acupuncture session. It is by donation. All the proceeds benefit my 501c3 Double the Love Foundation, which provides sonic and holistic care to those in need. And this month we will be focusing on breaking the vows that hold you back. This is something that I don't think we realize, that we carry these promises that we've made to ourselves. These aren't vows that we've made to others. These are promises and vows that we've made to ourselves in this lifetime or other lifetimes. And usually it's in reaction to a really uncomfortable event. And you know, there's such an emotional charge that happens when we say this statement to ourselves, when we promise never to do this again, never to love another again, you know, or we take a vow of poverty, or, you know, because we've seen what money can do, all of these things. And it's just a thought, but it's such a charged thought with such powerful emotion. It's like a lightning bolt that kind of just scars your entire being. And that energy can now no longer move through you. So you keep replaying these patterns of not finding love, or, you know, not being able to access abundance and prosperity like you like, because this promise is like this scar that's in the way of that life force moving through. And I use scars as the analogy because as an acupuncturist, I've seen this many times. You know, it's like a lot of times you come in for a session and I'll be putting in the needles and you might get temporary relief, but it comes back within a few days or a week or so. But it isn't until we release the scar, which is the one that's actually blocking all that energy from moving through your meridians, then that energy can flow through and you have longer lasting relief. So we have all these kinds of scars in our biofield, in our energetic body, in our physical body. And the power of this work is that it smooths out those scars. It you know, scar tissue, depending on how you look at it, can be laid down in a way that's you know, confusing. So it aligns the tissue on a physical level. It aligns the channels on an energetic level so that energy can flow through. So it's a remodeling. There you go. There's the word I was looking for. It remodels that energy so you have alignment and coherence again. And so that's what we do in all the sonic acupuncture and sonic alchemy sessions. And that's what we'll be working on this month. So if that's something that you feel is resonating and you'd like to explore what that is for you, then by all means join us for this month's special sonic acupuncture session on breaking the vows that hold you back. The links and everything to register will be in the description. So let's switch gears. Let's see what the sounds have in store for us for this month. So let's come together with the breath. Find a place where you can just sit, close your eyes. Let's just take a few breaths into the center of the heart. Let's just come back to ourselves. Maybe you are noticing how you get drawn out into the outer world. That's okay. Just notice that that's happening and then bring yourself back with the breath. So you can breathe in and out through the center of the heart. There you go. Beautiful. So tune into your body. Just notice how it feels at this point in space and time. And then I'm going to invite you to tune into the energy of the upcoming cycle. The upcoming cycle. Feel how this energy is moving for you as you feel out into your particular timeline. Maybe you feel like a little bump in the road or a detour. All of that is really good information. Maybe you're able to, feel through without any blocks. Also really good information. Just notice how it feels as you're tuning in to this upcoming cycle for you. Allow your body to give you the information. There you go. Well done. Beautiful tracking. Okay, and then come back. So we're going to tune ourselves, this short sonic alchemy session, to the energy of this cycle for you. So now you can just sit back and receive and notice how your body's receiving the information, whether it's through the sound or through my voice. There's a lot coming up for you this month. A lot of exciting things on the horizon, which you might be able to sense but can't see. You have more trust than you ever did before. But there's still more trust you can have, more faith in yourself. You don't have to try so hard. When you're trying, you're acting out of alignment with your authentic self. When you're efforting, you're acting out of alignment with your authentic self. When you flow at the pace of your heart's rhythm, action becomes effortless. Things flow to you and through you. And it's like, you've been searching for this maybe medal, prize or medal or something. There's this like sense of achievement that you've been searching for. But the real achievement is in being who you are. Being who you are. Really peeling back these layers of who you think you should be, who you've believed yourself to be. Who are you underneath all that? Who are you without all of that? There's a financial pattern coming in here. Let me switch gears. By switching sounds, there's a financial pattern. So it's showing up as like a muddy river. I can really feel the earth in the water. And there's a block there. And it's blocks that you actually put there yourself. Probably about age 4 is coming up for some of you. Age 12. And then there's like 3 other lifetimes that are coming in here. There's like this fear of success. Like you'll be leaving others behind if you were to do the thing that made you happy. And you'd rather like suffer in solidarity than to be the success that you feel your heart is calling you to. There's also this fear of being changed by prosperity, being changed by money. Like, who would you be with that? You feel you would lose a part of yourself. But the only thing you would lose is the part of you that vowed to stay impoverished. The heart of who you are never changes. And that's the real gold right there. So that can't ever be tarnished. It can be covered over, but it can't be tarnished. because that light is eternal. Okay, there's a health pattern coming in here. And fear connected with that. Like, am I ever going to be well? Or is this ever even a possibility? You know, when people are sick for so long or living in chronic pain for so long, it becomes a part of their identity. So it can be challenging to imagine what life would be like without that. Like, what would you do if that weren't consuming your energy? What would you do with all of that energy? And you can think about that in terms of addiction as well. And I'm referencing my own to cigarettes, which is always a surprise to people, but I smoked cigarettes for 6 years, a long time ago. It's been over 20 years since I'd quit. But it's like, what am I going to do with all this energy that I was putting into feeding myself in an unhealthy way, to sublimating, to suppressing the uncomfortable feeling? And I would go to have a cigarette, right? So what did I need to do to replace that energy with something healthy? And for me, I danced. I danced my ass off. And it really helped. And I drank a lot of water. But whenever you're instituting a change, it's like, what energy can I, what aligned action can I take that's going to feed me, and the other will naturally fall away. It's also something I learned from one of my favorite nutrition teachers when I was in graduate school. And when you're helping people make dietary changes, it's easier to add the good stuff instead of taking away the bad stuff. And soon your body won't want the bad stuff and it'll just fall away. You just will lose your taste for it. Okay? So when we can't imagine what life would be like without these certain things, because we lived that way for so long, just, you know, begin to take an aligned step of what can I do today that's in alignment with me feeling better? Like, what do I need to do today to take care of myself, if we're talking about a health pattern? And ask yourself the question and get the answer. Usually for myself, what I get is, you know, go for a walk, or you can rest now, or take a nap, or read a book. It's usually something very different from, you know, what I would think I would have to do. And so begin cultivating this really beautiful dialogue with yourself, with your body, and let it tell you what, you know, steps you can take, what one thing you can do today that would be nourishing for yourself. And eventually the other things go away. And it happens a lot more quickly than you think. So there's still the fear pattern here. It's coming in the spine, like low back. Doesn't look very good to my eye. I don't know if someone had back surgery or it's just very blocked for a long time. Looks like it could have been from a trauma. I'm not necessarily getting a car accident, but this definitely feels like a trauma. And it's also playing into the financial piece of it. Usually, not always, but it's not uncommon for me to see back problems and financial patterns and stresses come up together, right? Because that lack of feeling of support. And so this lack of feeling of support is really what's going on here. And it's like someone left you, or either they left you, or they left you permanently, like they passed away. And so whatever that lifeline was for you, or that you felt that lifeline was for you, isn't there. And they kind of gave you this support that you needed. So you have that reference for support for yourself. You know that feeling. If that person were there, you know what it feels like to have support. That feeling was yours and yours alone. They didn't give it to you. They didn't give it to you. That feeling is from you, right? And their presence might have reminded you of that feeling of support, but they can't give you that feeling. They don't even know what that is. Only you know what that feeling is. So just feel into that feeling of support that you remember having with that person in your life. There you go. So first you might go to the memory of that person, but then go to the feeling of support, the feeling that that memory gives you. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, now we're getting some movement in the low back, which is wonderful. And let's just breathe with that for a moment. Let's just spend some time here. Feel that feeling of support that you know that was inspired by the presence of another, but is really from you. It's really yours. It didn't leave when they left. That feeling is yours. There you go. So let's imagine, because sometimes it's really difficult to not take responsibility for what we're feeling. We attribute it to others, but it's really all us. So now imagine that person that's no longer there, that you attribute, that you felt that you had support from, but they left and you don't feel that same support. Okay, and they could still be here, but maybe they're aging and they can't support you in the same way. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways maybe that support has changed, right? Because that relationship has changed. Okay, now just for a second, imagine that all of those people or that person that you're thinking of right now is you. Okay, there you go. And now feel that support again. Looks good. Stay with it. Breathe here for a moment. There we go. Now I'm seeing light in that low back where there was none at all before. Okay, stay with this. I want to just help you connect with this feeling of support. That's your feeling. It has nothing to do with the outer world. There is no out there. It's all you, right? And we perceive the outer world as separate from us, but it is us. And so just that slight shift as you made when you recognized the other as you and you felt that support again, it was stronger even than before. But I would love to hear what your experience is of this. This is what I'm tracking. Okay, so stay with that feeling of support. Just keep feeling into it and let that feeling of support, which is a vibration, that sensation of support, let that sensation inform your entire body. So begin to allow that sensation to grow and expand. Just breathe with it. There's nothing you need to do here, but just rest in that feeling and be in that sensation while I play the chimes for you to help integrate that a bit more. And that support is going to ripple out into the financial pattern. It's going to ripple out into the health pattern. It's going to ripple out into the love pattern, which we didn't talk about. It's going to ripple out into all aspects of life. Beautiful. Well, thank you, dear one, for coming together with me to harmonize the nature of oneself. I hope you received what you needed from this mini alchemy session, the mini sonic alchemy session. I hope that I will get to experience your light and presence in this month's special sonic acupuncture session and break the vows that hold you back. And may you feel supported during this next cycle of time for you. And I'd love to hear your experience, what you noticed, what unfolded. So hit me up and spread the light. Blessings, dear one.